Hello everyone, I am Sunil Kumar BL, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Canara Engineering College. I am handling Advanced Computer Architectures 17 CS 72. Textbook is Advanced Computer Architecture by Kai Ham and Naresh Jotwani. Reference book is Computer Architecture, a Quantitative Approach by John L. NSC and David A. Patterson. Chapter 2 talks about program and network properties. Under that, program partitioning and scheduling. Contents are grain packing and scheduling, static multiprocessor scheduling. We'll start with grain packing and scheduling. The two fundamental questions which can be asked in parallel programming are: 1. How can we partition a program into parallel grains to yield the shortest possible execution time? Second one, what is the optimal size of concurrent grains? The solution is both problem dependent and machine dependent. The main goal is to produce a short schedule for fast execution of subdivided program. The problem is between parallelism and scheduling or synchronization overhead. Time complexity of both computation and communication overhead need to be considered. Grain packing approach is one of the solutions for the given problem. The basic concept of program partitioning can be discussed using following program, which contains 17 instructions. Instruction 1 to 6 are memory references or data fetch operations. Each takes 1 cycle to address and 6 cycles to fetch from memory. The instructions 7 to 17 are CPU operations. Each requires 2 cycles to compute. Next, we can see a program graph structure similar to dependence graph in 2 different grain sizes. Each node in the graph represents computational unit. Grain size is calculated by the number of basic machine cycles, which includes both processor and memory cycles needed to execute all operations. Nodes are represented by a pair n, s, where n is the node name or ID and s is the grain size of the node. So, grain size indicates the number of computations involved in a program segment. So, we can easily make out fine grain nodes have smaller grain size and coarse grain nodes have larger grain size. The edge between two nodes represented by a label V, D, where V is the output variable from the source node or the input variable to the destination node, and D represents the communication delay between them. This includes all the path delay and memory latency. The diagram shows fine-grained program graph with 17 nodes and coarse-grained program graph with 5 nodes. A represents fine-grained program graph where the nodes 1 to 6 are included into the node group A, and even 11th instruction is included in same group A. Similarly, they can group 9th and 10th into C, 7th and 8th into B, then 12, 13, 14 instructions to group D, 15, 16, 17 to group E. So this is what we call it as a packing, grain packing. So before we pack these individual instructions, if they are getting executed, it will take longer time, and the node represents the individual instruction, and it has got one more parameter, that is what we call it as a latency or delay. So the starting instructions are memory instructions, therefore the computation involved here, it is 1. So the parameter delay is indicated with 1. Similarly, in the next instruction, from instruction 7 to 17, so all those are computational instructions. So it includes 2 computations. So the delay is indicated with the 2. When it is packed, so in that case, entire group of fine grain nodes can be combined to form a single node, is called as a coarse grain node, and it is indicated with the alphabet A. So in the partition A, there are 7 nodes, and the total delay included will be summation of all those delays, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. So total it is 8. So the node is represented as A, 8. Similarly, same kind of calculation can be done for the partition B, C, D and E. So this is one kind of grouping they have done. It can be calculated, or it can be done in any fashion. So any order. Just we need to look into the dependency between those instructions and between those nodes. Now, in the diagram A, if you look into the edge which connects 2 nodes, so there again we have 2 parameters. One is the variable and the other one is the delay again. So the parameter node from 1,1 to 7,2, if you observe, there we have A, 6 as a weight for the edge. So A represents the destination, destination in the sense output variable. So output variable from the node 1,1, and it is the input variable for the node 7,2. So 6 is the delay used. But when we go for coarse grain combination or coarse grain scheduling, so in that case the delay get reduces, and we can speed up the process of execution. So that can be seen in the next slide. The main idea of grain packing is to apply fine grain first, so that it provides a higher degree of parallelism. Then it packs, means combines multiple fine grain nodes into a single form, coarse grain, and unnecessary communication delays can be eliminated. So it in turn reduces the overall scheduling overhead. The diagram shows the scheduling of fine grain and coarse grain. Usually, same processor is assigned for fine grain operations within coarse grain node. But fine grain partition in turn includes inter-processor communication. Internal delay between fine grain node are negligible because it is within a single processor. But delay is considered when there is a inter-processor communication. From this, we can easily understand the trade-off between parallelism and scheduling or communication overhead during grain packing. It shows fine grain schedule is longer with 42 time units, whereas coarse grain schedule is shorter with 38 time units. A schedule is a mapping of nodes to processors and start times such that communication delay requirements are observed. And no two nodes are executing on the same processor at the same time. So we need to do scheduling to minimize communication delay. Grain packing may not always yield a shorter schedule. So here we discuss the basic concepts of multiprocessor scheduling using static scheme. To get the shorter schedule, node duplication method can be used, which eliminates some interprocessor communication. Therefore, it produces a shorter schedule. Diagram shows the difference between with or without node duplication. We can observe idle time and also the interprocessor communication delay, which is about 8 units, and the delay within the processor is 1 unit. Now, if you look into the part A, where there is no duplication and two processors are being used to process the given statement, node A performs one operation, and then the result of that is passed to node B as well as node C, and the calculation C takes place in processor P2 and the calculation B takes place in processor P1. So there will be a communication delay between processor P1 to P2. So that delay is indicated as 8. Now, once the calculation of B and C is done, the result is again taken back to node D to perform one more operation. Again, inter-processor communication delay will be introduced between processor P2 and P1. So as a result, the final result will be obtained from the node D, as well as one more result is obtained from the node E, which performs some other operation in processor P2. So this is one schedule where there is no duplication. Because of that, the total time required for the execution, or I can say total cycles required, will be equal to 27. So that we can observe in the timing diagram. Similarly, if I go with the node duplication, so that is shown in diagram B, where the node C got duplicated and the extra C was introduced in processor P1 and one more node is there in processor P2. Now, as well as node A is also getting duplicated, and we will perform that operation in processor P1 as well as P2. So usually we think that by introducing these extra nodes, it will take more time because that operation is repeated. But since they are executed simultaneously in the same cycle, so overall result will be better only. So that we can make out. So in the common cycle, the operation A can be executed in processor P1 as well as P2. So the result of that is moved to node B as well as node C in processor P1, as well as it is moved to the node C in processor P2. Then the input taken from B and C that is passed to node D and it performed the operation. This side in processor P2, E2 performs the operation by taking the input from node C. So simultaneously they will give the result from node D as well as node E in different processor like P1 and P2. So that timing diagram, if you look into, or a schedule if you observe, it can be completed within 14 memory cycles. So this is the benefit of node duplication. So with this we can always make out sometimes by introducing extra nodes like extra operations, if we include, the total time duration required for the overall execution will get reduced. Here we can see to calculate grain size and communication latency. Example performs the multiplication of two 2x2 matrices and then finds the sum of the elements of the resultant matrix. So when you multiply two matrices, 8 multiplication is required and 4 addition is required. As a result, we will get one more 2x2 resultant matrix. Now the 4 elements of this resultant matrix need to be added, and that requires 3 more addition. So finally, one value will be obtained as the resultant. Now, 8 multiplications are performed using 8 multiplication nodes as shown in the diagram, each of which has a grain size of 101 CPU cycles. Now the total summation are 4 plus 3. 7 additions are performed in addition nodes, which requires 8 CPU cycles as shown in the diagram. Inter-processor communication latency is eliminated as D is equal to 212 cycles by adding all path delays between two communicating processors, which can be shown in the diagram B. This diagram shows the sequential versus parallel scheduling. Sequential execution requires 864 cycles, whereas parallel execution requires only 741 cycles. Further delays can be reduced by grain packing as shown in the diagram. Here, parallel execution can be completed using 446 cycles. So to conclude, sequential program execution with one processor requires 864 cycles, whereas the parallel processing with 8 processors requires 741 cycles with the speed up of 1.16, as well as with the 4 processor, the total clock cycle required was 446 cycles with the speed up of 1.94. Thank you.